Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And you know, when the weather systems come up, we get a little concerned about how we may get impacted, what may be flooding things, and how does that happen? We turn to Trey Middleton to help us with that. Trey, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course, with the Terrebonne Levee and Conservation District. One of those things that we know, and we appreciate your updates and about what's been going on, but we are always monitoring these situations, right? When we get these storms, and again, it's one of these things where we have this Alberto system to our west, and it's not even impacting us except for some rain, but it's those southerly winds that really make a difference and have here in the last few days.
Right. Here in this situation, you know, is a combination of the southerly winds with a high tide cycle that we're already within for the next few days, and also the intercoastal is high.
Right.
So it's just water all around, and trying to mitigate that as best we can.
And so we always like to get a live shot. I'm always so very glad that Martin and Jason spend a lot of time and energy making sure we have these digital cameras at some of these locks. Tell us a little bit about this first one here. Top left is the Bubba Dove.
Right. So the Bubba Dove, it's still open. It's remained open. You know, what we've seen since the last high tide cycle yesterday is, you know, on average things have dropped about 3 to 4 tenths or so.
Okay.
So it's starting to come down, but we still have the floodgates that have been closed are still closed. Right. And we're monitoring them right now. Potentially could start opening them up sometime tomorrow. Right. But we are, you know, monitoring this other system. So
right, exactly. So let's take a look at down in Cocodrie, Jay. There's a shot of Cocodrie. And again, this one is open as well?
This one is closed.
Sorry.
Cocodrie closed early yesterday morning.
Early yesterday, okay.
And we still saw, you know, above a 2.5, I'm sorry, a 3 down there this morning on the outside. So it was still 3.3, 3.1 down there on the outside. Yesterday was about 3.5. So some reduction.
Again, so coming down a little bit as we see these north winds coming through. And lastly, the one at Pointe-au-Tremble, Jay, if you don't mind putting that one up. As we take a look at Pointe-au-Tremble, you see the water there on the road.
Right. So that's looking south of the structure. So that's looking outside the system right now. The water level, again, from yesterday dropped about 4 tenths, but it was still in that 2.5, 2.6 range where if you let the water in, it's coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And lots of it. Very good, Jay. We appreciate that. And so if people are interested what is closed or what isn't closed, they have the opportunity to do that. They can kind of sign up and go to the website, right?
Correct. The website's really beneficial for the public to see. As you can see on the map, tlcd.org/mobile, but it shows the floodgates that are red, meaning they're closed.
Red means closed, right?
Ones that are green, meaning open, and then yellow is indicating that we're monitoring the floodgate for a potential closure.
Okay, very good. And so you can see here of the red dots there, we have several that are closed. And if you would like, you can go to tlcd.org/mobile, and you can go ahead and sign in on that. And that way you can get a look at all of these if you're interested or if you're concerned about some boat activity, and or if you have some land in that area, you always want to kind of know what is or isn't happening for those floodgates. And again, we're monitoring that because of this next system, right?
Correct. You know, we're hoping that we can get things opened up, but again, with this next system that's, you know, coming in right around the same area as this last one formed, so we'll be monitoring that, you know, through the weekend, through next week, and then making decisions on what we have to do with floodgates at that point.
Yeah, and so like you said, kind of that perfect storm, if you will, with the intercoastal being high, with this system pushing water from the south and our high tides. Correct. All of those things really affecting that. But like you've said, we've seen some considerable or some minimal droppage in the water levels, and we're watching that, and we're expecting more of that with the north wind. However, we still have some other high tides that will impact that again.
Right, correct. By Saturday, the wind should be switching from the northeast, which is going to help. But I mean, it's still going to be slow getting the water to. It comes in fast, but it goes out slow. So
right. And people need to be a little bit more understanding that it takes some time to close these floodgates. This is not something that you can just press a button and things immediately happen.
Correct. Not one of the floodgates is automated where we can close it. Without being on site. It's just it's a safety issue.
Right.
And navigation and stuff like that. But all of them require multiple people out there, multiple personnel. Our field crew are highly, competent and
well trained,
right. and so they're on top of it, And when we start pulling the triggers on floodgates, it's just boom, 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 boom. But it's not push a button,
right?
It happens,
right? And so it's really important for our people again to see the volume and how huge these structures are. And so if you go by boat and you run right next to the locks, you realize how big these floodgates are, how massive they are, and how much effort and energy it takes to really get them to close. And we only close them when we need to. And y'all are really good about being able to monitor that and do that.
Yes.
So again, right now we have several of those. Put the map back up one more time, Jay. Kind of want to just let people know that they can go to the website and we can see what are closed right now. You can see all of those in red are closed. Again, at your leisure, go and sign up for this mobile app and make it easy for yourself to kind of see those that are open. And those that are in yellow are being considered whether or not they may need to be closed. And again, it all depends upon this weather system, the high tides, and the winds. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate that. And so, Trey, we appreciate your time. Came on and did a lot of work with us here with the parish president yesterday. We appreciate that. The updates today, which we appreciate. And if we need to bring you back on, we know that you will. And thanks for your team out there making a difference for everybody, keeping them safe.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Trey, thanks. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment. But don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here on Bayou Time.
Here at Rouse's, we have our own brands of products, which you'll find down every aisle of our stores. These are the best quality at the best price. They compare to the national brands we sell, but at a lower cost. Most are made right here, but we travel the world too. And we personally taste test and guarantee every item. So if our name's on the label, you can trust it's good. Rouse's brand, best quality at the best price.